Here we are. Welcome back, gamers. I kind of sat here for a couple of minutes just because I was genuinely not sure how to start this video. So I think it'll be best if I kind of just get into it and talk and ramble and go from there. Share my thoughts. I did a little stream on Twitch last night where I kind of expressed all my full feelings. Yesterday was, the night of the news about the game. And I wanted to take a little bit more time to think about it, let it simmer, and properly react, I guess, to the news that we got about the game we all love, or some of you probably hate. If you don't love a game, if you love a game, you also have to hate it to a degree, right? Like maybe a little bit. You gotta hate aspects of it. There's no perfect game out there, but I do think TCM was certainly one of those games, and it had its highs, it had its lows, it had a lot in the middle, and it's unfortunately ending on a bit of a low mark. I will say, the last patch we got, obviously we're getting one coming up, but the last patch I do think overall was pretty dang good. It was promising. We saw the game come to PlayStation for free. We saw the player base numbers jump like crazy. The Steam charts were like, I don't base games potential or growth off of Steam charts, but man, the jump that even Steam charts were getting for like the last couple of weeks are insane for TCM. We saw bigger name streamers from, mainly the Dead by Daylight genre. People were hopping in to play, and it really did look like TCM was kind of making a comeback. And then I think the entire community is just blindsided for the most part. I do think we probably saw it. The writing was there, the writing was on the wall. The game certainly has been a little rough for a bit, but it was chugging along still, and I'm very happy and thankful for that. And I think at the end of the day, it's a great game. It really, really is. I think it's the best asymmetrical horror game that we have gotten to date. I hope there's another one that comes out in the future that's even better, whether it's made by Gun or someone else. I'm excited to see the genre continue to grow and get new games and new material. And I think there's a lot there. I think the formula of 3v4 that TCM introduced was fantastic. It kind of took the best elements of the 1vx games and made it so you can play with your friends, and I think that's fantastic. That's like I enjoy the killer role on F13, I enjoy the killer role on Dead by Daylight, but to be able to continue doing that role with friends is exactly what I wanted in a game, and that's why I think TCM truly was perfect. And I hope with whatever game that becomes big again in the future, I hope they do something with that, and it's not just another 1v yada yada. We have Fear the Reaper coming out, which is a very small indie game with like one or just a couple developers, and that's 1v7, I want to say. I can't remember that number off the top of my head, but it's a 1vx again, and that'll be fun. I'm sure I'll play it and get a lot of enjoyment out of it, but I don't know if it's going to hit as well as the 3v4 formula did. And I think TCM did it really well. Yes, you can argue that some balancing was not there for much of the game's lifespan, but I think at the end of the day, it still played pretty dang good, and I'm happy for that. And I'm happy to have played the game. This is where I started my quote unquote YouTube, I guess, career. Not really. I upload YouTube videos for fun. I do it to talk to people and meet people and share my thoughts and get other people's thoughts in the community. And it's fun to meet new people and talk to people. And I've really enjoyed that journey on YouTube thus far, just with a couple one-off videos here and there. But for the most part, I've mainly been TCM. And I have nearly 500 subscribers, and if you would have asked me a year ago if I would have thought that's where I'd have been, I'd be like, nah, maybe probably a couple, maybe like 10 15, a couple of friends, maybe one or two family members subscribe. But we've built a nice little community here. My streams on Twitch have been growing too, with TCM and other games branching out, and I've met some fantastic people in the community. Yeah, there's a lot of shitters out there, don't get me wrong. Like, most of the TCM community on Twitter are just, send them to the gulag because we don't need all that crap. But there's a lot of really good people out there for the most part that play the game and love the game and supported the game. There's a lot of people out there that that had their complaints with the game. I think most of the big streamers and people who sunk tons of hours of their time into making content for the game, I think they all had their gripes with it, I'm sure, as every person does with every game they play a lot and make content for. But it's just it's just a blindside out of nowhere. It's crazy. I still haven't fully processed it, I guess. I think most people probably saw it was on the downhill back in March when we had the first big update delay, and then it happened again. And I think that was kind of the first like, oh crap moment where TCM really is what's happening. We had the Xbox fiasco with Series S players that fortunately did get fixed, but that took way too long to get fixed. And then we had the issues with the lobbies just taking so dang long. And whether that's a player issue or a backfill issue or who knows, like that hurt the game so much early on, and it continued to hurt it. Just the release schedule of different content was not clean many times. Some of the content that was released was lackluster, not great. A lot of other things I think were fantastic. All the stuff we got in the content pass, I truly think is the best content that we got for the game in terms of cosmetics. Execution Pack 4, a little rocky obviously, but beyond that, like there's a fantastic deal for the content pass. So I was hoping for a second one. I guess we'll never get that now, but at the time I was like, dang, this is great. If you play both sides, it's worth it. So I don't know, like what else is there to say? Everyone's putting their own video up with their thoughts. These are mine. What does this mean for me? I guess I still have videos that I want to make for TCM. I still will play the game, albeit probably less. I got every perk on every family member max level, and after doing that, it was hard to find some incentive to play family. And when you look at the victim side, I finished Connie. I got every perk level 3 on Connie, and I am almost done, I think, with Virginia. I was really close for finishing Virginia. And the victims have just so many more perks. It's a little trickier to get XP, I'd say, and you have to wait in the miserable queues. And so that's why, like, that was just a turn off of a challenge. I just worked on it here and there. And yeah, that's pretty much where we were with that. But I don't know, it's like, it's kind of hard to find, I guess, the motivation to play the game. It's kind of been on the downward trend for me personally for a couple months now, if I'm being honest. Got really into Lethal Company probably like 6 months ago, and repos come out, and I've just been branching out, playing other games, playing multiplayer games with friends and people I've met on TCM, playing some different single player games, and I've enjoyed that. Whether that comes to this YouTube channel or not, we'll see. I don't know. I'll probably still continue to upload things. It just might be a couple TCM things, and then we'll branch into a few other games and genres. And I'm a huge Borderlands fan. I love Borderlands so much. I've not been as involved in playing the games for a couple years now, obviously, because I've been dipping my toes deep into the ASIM horror genre. But we got Borderlands 4 coming out, and I am pumped for that. So once that drops, I would say expect some Borderlands 4 content. And until then, we're gonna be doing some TCM stuff. I have things I want to do still. I have lots and lots of footage of TCM. So we'll still be using that. You'll probably see some here in this video that I'm gonna slap on. And yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll delve into Killer Clowns a little bit more. Not that I loved that game, but it's coming up on its 1 year anniversary, seems to be pushing out content slow, but it's still there. and if it's alive, you know, their new content is still coming, which can't be said unfortunately for TCM. And you know, I guess looking farther ahead, like what's next for Gun? We don't know yet. They're obviously making another game. You know, I've been a Gun supporter pretty much through since F13 and all the way through TCM for the most part. Don't get me wrong. I disagree with some decisions. I do think they did some things poorly. And I do hope they learn from that. And you know, I think the passion is there. You can call them lazy, you can call them, you know, sloppy with some things, but like that's every game, guys. It's every game, it's every studio. It's nothing is perfect. I do think the passion and the attention to detail is there with Gun. Look at, like, you know, just the I appreciate so much that they did for F13 with all the details and accuracy, and they did the same thing with TCM, and I think that's really cool. You know, I can look at TCM and be like, dang, that's a beautiful game. Everything about TCM, the looks of the maps, the characters are fantastic. And then I look at, no offense to Dead by Daylight, but I look at Dead by Daylight and I was like, ooh, like, you know, it still looks rocky, and that's after 9 years. And I know they just announced some like lighting update, but even in the comparisons I've seen, I'm like, it's pretty minor. Like, I think there's still like more to be done there. TCM just has they cooked with how accurate and detailed and beautiful everything in the game looked. And I'm sure with whatever Gun gets into next, I think that will probably continue. I know people are obviously going to say boycott Gun, don't buy their games. I'll be honest, I'm gonna buy the game. It's probably gonna be another horror IP. It's gonna be something cool that we all want to like and all want to play and check out. Who knows what it'll be? You know, it could be Scream, it could be, people have been saying Children of the Corn, who knows? It could be Terrifier. Like, no one has any idea what it's going to be yet. And you know, if it's a horror game in the ASIM genre, then yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna play it no matter who it's by. Unless the game like starts to come out and it looks rough. Like, there's a couple games coming out that like are ASIMs, and I've just seen just the gameplay. I'm like, yeah, that's not for me. But like even Evil Dead, I was actually really excited for Evil Dead, but watching different gameplay for that, it was not, it just didn't look fun, and I don't really know why. I couldn't get into watching it, and normally if I don't like watching something, I don't like playing it either. I don't know if, you know, that's the same for everyone, but that's kind of how it is for me. And yeah, and that's another game, unfortunately, has gone to the wayside. So it's hard, you know. Maybe Gun branches out and does their own thing without an intellectual property attached, and if they do, maybe it'll be more successful. You know, you have more creative freedoms. I think that probably was a big limiter with TCM, is they were limited in what all they could do because of licensing and staying true to the genre. And I think at a core, obviously Gun respects the property and wants to create as accurate as possible visuals, but at the same time, I think also at the core, they are quirky and fun and want to do things that are goofy. And you know, look at some of the stuff that we got in F13. That was fun stuff. And look at some of the cosmetics we got in this game. Like Rush Week got some goofy cosmetics that were fantastic. And I do think that was a limiter. So, you know, what does it mean for the future? Who knows? We're still going to be playing games. We're still going to be streaming on Twitch. We're still going to be uploading some videos on YouTube. You know, I made a channel a long time ago back in F13. It's old now if you want to look it up. It's Skeletos Gaming, but it's mainly F13 videos. And, you know, that was like my first taste of video editing and crappy thumbnails. Not saying I've gotten much better with any of that, but, you know, I've enjoyed it. I do this for fun. You know, I'm not making any money off these YouTube videos or Twitch streams, but like, you know, it's a good time. I enjoy talking with people and, you know, getting people's thoughts and opinions and takes on things. So we're still going to continue to do that no matter what, whether it's TCM, whether it's something else, or gosh, who knows what it'll be. Maybe we'll we're not going to become a white room YouTube slop channel. We're not going to do that, but you know, who knows? We'll see what we get into. But overall, at the end of the day, I really am very, very thankful for TCM. I'm thankful for the people I met along the way. I'm thankful for anyone who subscribed or watched a video. You know, I still can't believe, like, I got some videos with a couple thousand views, and I think that's really cool. I'm very, very thankful for anyone who spent their time to watch those videos or this video. And if you went the extra step and subscribed, thank you. If you went the extra step and commented, thank you. I really, really, really do appreciate it. Super cool. Never thought I'd be even close to like the numbers that we got at times. And yeah, we're still gonna be trucking along. So this isn't the end of me. This isn't the end of the channel. It's definitely I shouldn't say definitely. It's probably not even the end of TCM on the channel, because I got so much footage. I'm gonna want to be putting some videos up, and you know, we'll probably just take a backseat to some of TCM's gaming. Obviously, we have a big patch coming up soon. We'll check that out. We'll see what they change. I'm sure there will be a few changes, and yeah, it's just hard. It sucks at the end of the day. You know, you have a game that you love and sink, you know, thousands of hours into, and then poof, it's gone. And the worst part is, it happened to multiple games for me this year. F13 finally died at the end of last year. Multiverses, another game I loved and was playing a ton, because I enjoy some platform fighters. I'm a big Smash Bros guy, and you know, Multiverses I was really enjoying. That game died. We got the news about Texas yesterday, and then today, believe it or not, they announced the it was like the complete edition for Mortal Kombat 1, another game that, you know, I played a good bit and have played it on and off since launch, and they announced like the finale version of that, and yeah, so another game gone. You know, obviously MK1 and TCM are still going to be available to play, and you know, you can play them for probably a very long time. There will still be a player base for each, but as far as new content goes, it looks like both are done, and that is always hard to come by. So yeah, but you know, I guess I'm rambling. I should probably end it, do some tweaks, and we'll get this popped up on the YouTube. But again, thank you all so much. I'm really, really, really thankful for you stopping by here, and I'm thankful for all the people I met along the way. I made so many new friends, and even friends who encouraged me to start YouTube again and upload videos, and here we are. It's pretty dang cool. So I'm very thankful for them and everyone else. And yeah, I don't know, it's sad, it's bittersweet. Got my TCM poster there. Who knows how much longer we'll keep it up. We're rocking the TCM game shirt one last time. I mean, it's a shirt, I'll wear it again, but you know, one last time for intentional meaning. So yeah, I don't know how to end this. I don't know how to start. It's just tough. It's sad. It sucks. It really sucks. And you know, I'm sure there are some people out there rejoicing for the death of TCM, but I am not one of those people, and I wish it could have gone on a lot longer. I think there was more that could have been done with the game, and I think there's, you know, we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll take a peek at my rant video from a couple months ago. It was a quote unquote rant video. Maybe I'll consider uploading that. Maybe I'll look at my initial reactions from last night on stream. Maybe I'll upload that too. I don't know. We're gonna be doing some things. I'm just, you know, in one sense, it's nice that TCM is no more, because you don't have to worry about it. You know, it's been a rocky almost 2 years, and you know, now the I guess the uneasiness of the situation is gone, and we can play the game and enjoy it for what it is, and there's no pressure. So I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna stop talking because I'm just making nonsense now. But anyway, if you made it this far, again, I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of your day or night, and yeah, you know, if you wanna hang around and see what else we got coming up in the future, who knows what it'll be. It'll still be some horror games. I love me some horror games, and you know, go ahead and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. Are you bummed about TCM? I was pretty dang bummed when I read that announcement. Got the ping, was excited, read the announcement, said, ah, crap. So yeah, c'est la vie. Anyway, have a good one, y'all, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.